For the 1931S, get this, they only produced a little over 866,000 of those coins. So those are going to be super sought after by coin collectors. So first let's start off with a 1931S that is not in the best condition, but it is, 1931S. So this coin here is only graded at a very fine 30. The coin grading scale goes up to 70. So it's not even halfway there on the scale. Now this penny, because of its low mintage, sold for over $115. Alright, so if we move on to this next coin, this is the same coin, but what makes this coin different is that it's a 1931S that is graded at a mint state 66 red. So the coin grading scale only goes up to 70. This is at a mint state 66, so that gives it a lot of value, and also it being graded red is also going to give it a lot of value as well. So if you're not familiar with red, brown, brown pennies, the different colorations and grades of those pennies, be sure to go check out that video on my channel where I explain everything about red, brown, and brown. Now this penny here sold for over $3,000 because it's definitely going to be hard to find these 1931S pennies in this condition. Now let's move on to another weak penny here. This is going to be a 1931S as well. This coin here sold for over $200. And if we move on to this next one, this 1931S here sold for over $300. And then let's check out this one here. This is a 1931S that has been cleaned. It's not got a high grade, as you can see, and this 1931 wheat penny sold for a little over $100. Alright, sticking with the 1931S, we're almost done with the S. We're going to move on to the D mint mark. This is a 1931S with the high grade PCGS MS66, which means mint state 66 red. So this is a high graded coin. That is what's going to give it a lot more value than if it was in a lower grade. And this penny sold for over $4,000 US. Now here again, another example of a 1931S graded at about uncirculated 55. So you can see that it's definitely been circulated there a lot, quite a bit. And but it's still an awesome penny. Always look out for these because they're always going to sell because they only made a little over 800,000 of them. This penny here sold for over $200. Now for a 1931D, this coin is graded by PCGS at about uncirculated 50, and this coin sold for over $50. So not too much money there. But if we move on to the same coin, the 1931D Denver minted wheat penny here, this one is the high graded version of that coin. It is graded at a mint state 66 red, so that's going to give it a lot more value. You go from a $50 penny to over a $6,000 penny. So super rare penny there. Always just be on the lookout for the 1931s, Ds, and S's because you definitely can get some money out of them. Now for the 1931 no mint mark, now they made a lot more of these coins, but this coin is an exception. This coin is graded at a mint state 67 red, so that is what's going to give the coin all of its value, is that it has an extremely high grade. It's going to be nearly pretty much impossible to find a 1931 in this condition. There's probably not that many of them actually out there. Now this coin here sold for over $12,000. $12,000. So the higher the grade, typically the more valuable your coin's going to be. And of course, if it has any types of errors or low mintage in today's video's case, that will give it some value as well. But check out these other wheat pennies that are worth money that you should always be on the lookout for in your coin collection or when you're buying coins, or who knows, even in a coin roll or your pocket change. Alright, so first here's an image of the mintages of the pennies from 1941. You can see there in green. So mintage pretty much means how many they produced, how many they minted. Alright, so in 1941, no mint mark. When it doesn't have the mint mark, that means it's Philadelphia. It was produced in Philadelphia. Now I have a whole video on mint marks. Be sure to go check that out. You can see there to the right of 1941, they produced over 887 million. So they are very, very common coins. But if you look there at 1941D and 1941S and you look over to the right at their numbers, you can see that they produced a lot less than the Philadelphia minted penny from 1941. But they still produced a lot of these coins. So what's going to make these coins valuable valuable? Well, here's an image of what you want to look for that could possibly make your 1941 worth a lot more than its face value. Now, this is an example of a 1941 Double Die Obverse. So there's doubling taking place on the lettering here, you can see in the image displayed. So what you want to do is get a cheap USB coin microscope, and that way you can see your coins up close like this to see if you have any double die errors. Now here's the date, 1941, being doubled, and the doubling on the bottom image there of the 1941 is a little difficult. If you look there to the left of the 1 and the 9, you can really see that doubling taking place there. Now there is a difference between a true double die coin and mechanical doubling. I got a whole video on that as well, so be sure to go through my channel and check that out also. And then here's just one more example of a double die taking place on a 1941 Lincoln penny. Alright, so I'm going to show you a couple differences here because there are some more errors to look for, but real quick, here's a 1941 double die that is at an extra fine 45. So the grading scale goes all the way up to 70. This is at an extra fine of 45. Of course, it's not a mint stated condition coin or anything like that, so keep that in mind. Obviously, if it was a mint stated condition coin, it would sell for a lot more money. However, this coin here sold for over $240. Now here's an even lower graded 1941 Lincoln penny. Now this has a double die obverse as well. However, it's not in the best condition. It only sold for $19. So that really shows you the value and the grading system right there. Let's move on to a very high graded coin. Now this is a 1941 proof penny that is very, very high graded there. So you can see that in the images displayed. Keep in mind, if you guys do find a 1941 penny when you're coin roll hunting or searching through your pocket change, and it's just a regular circulated, beat up, scratched 1941 penny and it doesn't have any types of errors. I still have one more error to show you, but if it doesn't have any types of errors, it's not going to be extremely valuable. It's just going to be worth pretty much its face value. But this 1941 high graded proof coin here sold for over $28,000. Next up is something to look for on the 1941S. San Francisco minted Lincoln cent. So what this is called, this is a repunched mint mark. For anyone that's new to coin collecting or new here on Couch Collectibles, this is something you want to look for on your mint marks. The mint mark has been repunched, so it'd be an RPM. And you can clearly see that the S has been repunched there in the image displayed. So always be on the lookout for those, because those could give your coins a little bit of value as well. Here's an image of the mintages, how many they produced in 1910. You can see that they made the 1910 no mint mark, which is the Philadelphia minted penny, and then they made the 1910S San Francisco minted penny. Now the 1910 no mint mark, they produced over 146 million, whereas on the 1910S they only produced 6 million of those coins. So a lot lower amounts of those coins were made, which will make them more sought after. Now first up, here's an image of an RPM taking place on the 1910S penny. Now you can see that there are different repunched mint marks on here, so you got 3 different images there. Like I always say, get a cheap little USB coin microscope. You can get them on couchcollectibles.com, and you will be able to zoom in and see your coins up close like this. So here's an example of a 1910S that has that repunched mint mark, and this one isn't, you know, highly graded. It's graded uncirculated, but it's not graded at a mint state or anything like that. And this coin sold for a little over $170. Now, if you want to look at a very high graded coin, this is the 1910S that is extremely high grade at a mint state 67. And because of that high grade, it is a very, very valuable coin. This 1910 penny sold for over $43,000. Now, if you want to compare that to just a lower graded coin that doesn't have any errors, it doesn't have a high grade, it's just a 1910S at an AU58, this coin sold for over $150. Now here's an even lower graded coin, 1910S at an extra fine 45. Now this penny only sold for a little over $17. So you can see how big of a difference it is. $17 and $43,000. That is a huge difference, all because of grading. Now here's some examples of pennies that sold on eBay. You can see there to the right, the 1910S sold for over $100. You see the one in the middle there, $95. and then the other one $100 as well. So all around the range of $90 to $100, and some of those are graded, some of those are not. So it really all just depends on the condition of the coin. Now here is an image of a 1910 no mint mark that is a high graded coin at a mint state 67. Now this coin here sold for over $7,400 because of its high grade. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle, check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I will see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.